Hello class, today we're going to talk about social influence from chapter 11. A couple of topics we're going to cover today are the psychologists Solomon Asch, Stanley Milgram, and Norman Triplett, and their discoveries that paved the way to the study of social influence. Today's first topic is Solomon Asch. Psychologist Solomon Asch was the discoverer of the conformity test. This test was a social experiment to test how people in groups respond to others. Today, we'll show you a demonstration of this experiment. In this experiment, we have two actors, Autumn and David, and one test subject, Erica. She does not know that the first two are actors and that we're told to answer the experiment incorrectly. Here we have the question. We're going to ask all three of them which one of these three lines matches the standard line. The correct answer is line number 2, but David and Autumn are told to answer number 3 to see how Erica replies. Autumn, which numbered line matches the standard line?
Number 3.
David?
Clearly it's number 3.
Erica?
Definitely number 3.
Here we see Erica conforming to the responses of the other people around her when the obvious answer was number 2, but she was doubting herself because of the others around her.
Stanley Milgram was a psychologist who performed one of the most well-known experiments in social psychology. The experiment wanted to see how obedient people were to authority figures. This could possibly explain wars and things like the Holocaust. Men were called to read a series of words to another man, have them recited back, and if they were recited wrong, deliver an electric shock to the person reciting. However, if the reader did not feel comfortable giving an electric shock, he was urged by an official to continue. First, kindly, the more assertive the demands to continue were. A majority of the participants delivered shocks up to the highest level. Joke's on them though, because the official was an actor, the dude being shocked was a friend of Milgram's, and there was no electric current at all. Pretty shocking, right?
Today we're going to discuss Norman Triplett. He is a social psychologist who studied how the presence of others affect our behaviors. Group influences operate both in simple groups, one person in the presence of another, and in more complex groups. And Triplett's findings that our responses on an individual task are stronger in the presence of others, which is called social facilitation. And his later studies revealed that the presence of others sometimes helps and sometimes hurts performances. Why? Because when others observe us, we become aroused, and this arousal amplifies our reactions. It strengthens our most likely response, correct one-on-one, and an easy task or a difficult task. We perform well-learned tasks more quickly and accurately when others observe us. But on a new and difficult task, we perform less quickly and accurately. For example, in a team of tug of war, do you exert more, less, or the same of amount effort as a one-on-one tug of war?
Less.
The correct answer is less.
Psychologists over time have developed key terms and definitions that currently impact the psychology field. The first term is informational social influence, which is influence resulting from a person's willingness to accept others' opinions about reality. Normative social influence is influence resulting from a person's desire to gain approval or avoid disapproval. Social loafing is the tendency for people in a group to exert less effort when pooling their efforts toward attaining a common goal than when individually accountable. De-individuation, the loss of self-awareness and self-restraint occurring in group situations that foster arousal and anonymity. Group polarization, strengthening of a group's pre-existing attitudes through discussions within the group. And groupthink, the mode of thinking that occurs when the desire for harmony in a decision-making group overrides a realistic appraisal of alternatives. Today we covered social influence and what it is. We talked about Solomon Asch and his conformity experiment, Stanley Milgram and the shocking way he administered tests, and Norman Triplett's discovery of how groups of others influence how we perform. We also covered some major parts of vocabulary involved within the field of social influence, which are important because they impact the field of psychology and the world around us.